So just when you think it's going to be a quiet one in the world of motorsport, F1 has the ability to still make your jaw drop. In August 2020, it was announced that Williams had been sold for approximately $178 million to Dorilton Capital, a private investment / private equity firm based in the US. And my first reaction was honestly shock, because I never thought that the family would completely sell up and give up control of the team. And my second reaction was one of relief.
Oh my God, okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
Because Williams had secured its financial future, even if it was for the next few years. And then I did a little bit of research about Dorilton Capital, and I had a third reaction of fear and questioning the long-term future of Williams as a team and what would be left of it in future. Welcome to the F1 House. My name is Sakki, and keep watching to find out why this deal to buy Williams has got me a little bit worried. If you appreciate all the work that goes into these videos, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for the YouTube algorithm. It really helps out my channel a lot, and it helps it get out to far more people. So the Williams F1 team, if you don't know already, have a long winning history in the sport, comprising of 16 world championships in total. When you break that down, that's 9 constructors titles and 7 drivers titles. This has faded away recently into very difficult times. And you know what, for now, they just want to be able to compete and challenge other cars on the track. With the current team spending in the hundreds of millions every year and the huge infrastructures that come with those teams, Williams just haven't been able to compete. The team was at real risk of losing everything, including over 600 jobs. This is a lot of responsibility to hold on to as a family. Now, Dorilton Capital, a private investor / private equity firm, have entered the scene and really saved the day for Williams F1 racing team. They provided the much needed financial stability for the team over the next coming years. How will Williams change as a result of this deal? This is really where my concerns come in. So to understand why I got a bit worried, I think it's important to understand the new buyer. The Dorilton and other private equity firms like it invest in companies that need cash but still have loads of intrinsic value within the company. So they will look to restructure Williams, making it more valuable so that it can sell its stake later at a profit. So the first reason why I'm a bit worried is looking into the past when F1 was bought by a private equity firm called CVC Capital. So the London-based firm paid a huge $2 billion in 2006 to buy the Formula One organisation, and they made about $4.5 billion on its initial $1 billion stake. However, the way it went about doing business, like a lot of private equity deals, meant $800 million in debt onto Formula One to pay itself and its partners in dividends. In the words of the deputy team principal at Force India at the time, all their actions have been taken to extract as much money from the sport as possible and put as little in as possible. This led to a lot of friction between the team principals, drivers, the owners, and Bernie at the time. Looking at CVC as a previous private equity firm involved in F1, Dorilton may have the same approach as them in terms of extracting as much value from the sport with minimal investment. I'll go into this in a little bit more detail later, but if Dorilton are anything like CVC in the way that they behave, then I'm a little bit worried. As much as they claim on their website that they look at making long-term decisions, I don't see them doing this for anything longer than 6 to 7 years, at which point another buyer would come in, which leads on to my next concern: the long-term instability of Williams. This might seem like a counterintuitive thought process given that I've said that Dorilton may be around for 6 to 7 years, but with this investment comes a few things. More money, but the partners of the firm will want to figure out how things can be improved and where the value is within the business. Private equity firms mainly love those opportunities where they can buy up companies that are undervalued and struggling financially. So when you're investing these huge amounts of sums into anything, naturally you're going to want more control in terms of what's going on a day-to-day basis. So I can see the management structure changing quite significantly as the years pass on, as Dorilton get familiarised with the team, know exactly what they need and get more comfortable in the world of F1. I can imagine Claire and Frank Williams moving into roles that are mainly honorary or as representatives, basically no power or not the final decision maker. With that transition comes more instability, as the team will have to change the way that they work yet again. Another thing relating to Dorilton and the long-term instability is what plans do they have with the other arm of the Williams business, because there's the race team and then there's the Williams advanced engineering side, which is a technology and engineering services Motors business. There is also a huge inventory of classic cars that the Williams own that will be worth tens of millions. When I look at the three main areas where value is held, it feels like the majority of Williams assets are held in the advanced engineering side and in their stock of classic cars. And I've got a feeling that the different aspects of the businesses may be separated out and sold off eventually, which isn't great for the overall F1 team. So their experience. Dorilton Capital have no experience when it comes to F1 or even motorsport as an industry. Looking at Dorilton's current portfolio of companies, they have one company that manufactures flaw detection inspection systems, including its leading automated ultrasonic scanners, to a specialty food science company that has the only technology in the world to transform honey into solid form. So clearly they have an interest in manufacturing, engineering and unique technology. So fairly different to F1. And you may point out to me that Liberty Media didn't have any experience in the motorsport industry before buying F1. Liberty Media at the time, and still do, have a lot of experience in the media and entertainment sector, and obviously there is a big crossover there. F1 is about the entertainment. So without that real experience of how the motorsport industry works, let alone F1, how are you expected to get the most out of the team? So for me at the moment, it's hard to see their long-term vision. When I say long-term, I mean greater than 5 to 6 years. But things can change very quickly though. But saying that, there are obviously a lot of good sides to private equity. So Williams will have access to large amounts of funding. The private equity firm will be actively involved in trying to achieve success, as there is a huge incentive for them to do so. The more success they have, the more profits and money they'll be able to present to their partners and investors. Lastly, this financial success will naturally trickle down into the Formula One team. But this brings me back to the points that I mentioned earlier. There are different parts of Williams. There's the F1 team and then there's the advanced engineering side. I have a funny feeling that the advanced engineering side and the stock of classic cars is what really got the private equity firm interested. For example, Williams and their knowledge of electrification/battery technology can have real uses in the real world, with the world moving closer and closer towards battery powered vehicles. It is of course great that Williams' future has been guaranteed, and Dorilton are doing a great service to F1 for doing so. It is still very early days with this deal, so we'll have to wait and see how it pans out. In an ideal world, Dorilton will stick around for 10, 20, 30 years, but the sport has changed significantly. And when it comes to private equity firms, they are there to make a profit and exit. So all in all, I'm not too hopeful. And that just about finishes off my video about why the sale of Williams to Dorilton Capital worries me a little bit. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Hopefully this sale of Williams will provide some financial stability to them, provide some long-term improvements into the performance of the F1 team. I really hope that they're looking at the overall picture, not just certain parts of the Williams business. I'm not saying that I'm right. At the end of the day, this is just my opinion, so let me know what you think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? I really want to hear your opinion. Hope you've enjoyed. Until next time, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to ensure that you get all my latest videos.